You're never going to become a millionaire unless you truly grasp one single core idea. It's kind of the secret sauce to building wealth quickly, and it's all about closing the gap between where you are right now and where you really want to be. And this right here, this is what we call the performance gap. And the difference between just kind of getting by and actually becoming a millionaire, it's having an obsession with closing this gap as fast and as efficiently as humanly possible.
I mean, just look at this. For most people, the path to their goals looks like that chaotic scribble on the left. It's full of distractions, weird detours, and dead ends, and they never really hit their goal. But the wealthy, their path is that straight arrow on the right. They are absolutely laser-focused on getting from point A to point B.
Okay, so let's dive into this. Here is the 6-part blueprint we're going to walk through today to help you build that direct, focused path straight to your goals. The entire strategy, everything we're about to cover, is built around closing this one gap. And to do that, you first got to understand the fundamental rule of how money actually works.
This right here is the fundamental rule. To put it simply, the bigger the problems you solve for other people, the more money you're going to make. That's it. That's how you shrink the performance gap.
So how in the world do you provide that value? Well, the very first step is to find your value zone, that sweet spot where you are uniquely positioned to solve really valuable problems. And we're going to find it using a super simple Venn diagram. So the first circle is for everything you love to do, your passions, your hobbies. Don't even overthink it. Just list out everything that genuinely gets you fired up. All right, the second circle is for the things you're genuinely good at. These are your skills, your natural talents. What do your friends always ask for your help with? What just seems to come way easier to you than it does to other people?
And the third, and honestly the most crucial circle, is for things the market is willing to pay a lot of money for. What skills or services are in super high demand right now? Where is the money already flowing?
And the solution is right here, smack dab in the middle. This is your value zone. As you can see, if you only do what you love, you might end up broke. If you only do what you're good at, you get bored. And if you only chase what pays well, you could be totally miserable. Real wealth and fulfillment, they happen where all three of those circles overlap. Okay, so once you've identified your value, you need the right tools, the right vehicles to actually deliver it to the marketplace and start building your wealth. And for this strategy, you're going to need two.
Think of it like this. Your active vehicle is the motorbike. This is the powerful engine that makes you money. It's your main business, your side hustle. Then, your passive vehicle is the sidecar. Its job isn't to make new money, but to take the money your motorbike generates and grow it. This is your investment portfolio.
Now, when you're just starting out, the smartest choice for that motorbike is almost always a service-based business. And why is that? Well, the barrier to entry is incredibly low. You don't need a factory or a bunch of inventory. All you need is a laptop and your brain to start creating value in your spare time.
But here's the thing. Having the right vehicles just isn't enough. You have to fuel them correctly. And that means learning how to allocate your most precious, non-renewable resources. And first things first, forget the myth that you need 7 income streams. In the beginning, that's just a recipe for disaster. You'll get caught up trying to juggle way too many things, and you'll never make real progress on any of them. Your greatest advantage, your superpower, is focus.
We all have 3 finite resources: money, time, and energy. And while you can always make more money, your time and your energy, well, they're gone forever once you spend them. How you invest them is going to determine the speed at which you close your performance gap.
To achieve really rapid growth, you have to disproportionately allocate your resources to one single goal. Yeah, it means temporary imbalance. You might have to sacrifice social time or hobbies, but that intense focus is what builds momentum. In the early days, any distraction can completely derail you.
All right, now that we know where to focus, let's talk about the mindset you're going to need. Because on the path to your goals, you will hit roadblocks. That's not a possibility, that's a guarantee. This quote from the legendary Jim Rohn just says it all. The difference is so simple. An obstacle is just something to get around, but an excuse is a wall you build yourself. So whenever you feel stuck, ask yourself this question. It's such a powerful mental shift because it forces your brain to stop seeing problems and start finding solutions. It turns "I can't" into "how can I?" And that, right there, is the key to every single breakthrough you'll ever have. Finally, let's talk about the most powerful asset you have. One that compounds just like money, but is even more valuable. And I'm talking about your knowledge. Most people make the huge mistake of thinking that learning ends with school. But as this shows, that's just the foundation. You add practical skills from your work, which then leads to pattern recognition from real-world experience. Over time, all of this compounds into real wisdom. If you stop learning, you create a massive gap in your own development. You stop growing and your progress just stalls out.
Look, closing your performance gap won't be easy. It's going to require focus and it's going to require sacrifice. But I want to leave you with this powerful idea. If you aren't willing to make sacrifices for your dream, then your dream becomes the sacrifice. The choice is yours.